Hello, and welcome to Trade Compass, the news program of the International Trade Center. In this episode, we explore how trade-led development can be done in an earth-friendly way. I'm Susanna Pak. The United Nations collective goals for the next 15 years are called the Global Goals for Sustainable Development. Sustainable here is the key word. Let's visit places around the world where efforts to pursue better livelihoods intersect with efforts to protect the planet. First stop, Peru.
Peru is known as one of the top 5 biologically diverse countries on the planet, the Noah's Ark of modern times. Peruvians want to keep it that way. That's why they've put a national development focus on biodiversity, including for trade.
This policy is bearing fruit. In the first 10 months of 2014, exports of biodiverse products reached $350 million, up 60% from the previous year. The country's socioeconomic future depends on protecting what it has today. From golden berries to sacha inchi and other biodiverse products used in cosmetics, alternative medicine, and health foods. As ITC works with Peru's trade promotion agency PROMPERU to get more small firms into overseas markets, conditions at home are improving.
El beneficio sería enorme, ¿no? Enfocándolo desde el punto de vista del productor, estaría dejando de lado otros tipos de cultivos ilícitos, haciendo de que la economía en San Martín sea más dinámica.
Ya el aguaymanto, lo que vendemos, la plata sirve para hacer educar a los niños, a veces para la salud y también ya para nuestra vestimenta y para nuestra alimentación misma. Entonces, hemos mejorado.
In Peru, biodiversity is actually growing and can generate hundreds of thousands of new jobs in rural communities as the United Nations works towards achieving the global goals.
Tea is Kenya's top export, and 70% of it is produced by small-scale farmers. But they're facing a big problem, climate change. Shifts in rainfall and temperature are affecting tea production. So let's take a look at how they're learning to adapt. Despite these lush green fields, Kenyan farmers are feeling the effects of climate change. Over the past 30 years, the ideal location to grow tea has moved to higher altitudes, and there is also less water available.
As a result of climate change, our rivers are drying off. Then we are encouraging our farmers to do the water harvesting so that even if the rainfall is not reliable, then they can be used to use that harvested water.
Field experts at the Makamboki Tea Factory are teaching farmers to grow trees to protect fragile plants, to use drip irrigation, and to enrich soil by composting leaves and branches to use as fertilizer.
We train them in various managerial practices of tea, plus other aspects, those being other issues to do with social issues, climate change, diversification.
This training is a result of the International Trade Center's work with the Ethical Tea Partnership, the Rainforest Alliance, and FlowCert, along with the Kenya Tea Development Agency, to train farmers and factory managers in adapting to climate change.
I'm the biggest producer in the Makamboki Tea Factory. The average is 280 kgs per month. The reason why I'm getting a lot of those kilos, because I'm just putting the fertilizer, the manure.
Tea leaves grown by farmers like Kariyuki are gathered at collection centers, then taken by trucks to the Makamboki Tea Factory. Production here is designed to reduce its carbon footprint. The factory harnesses the steam from boilers for energy, runs automated machinery to boost efficiency, and burns an eco-friendly alternative to firewood. These homemade briquettes are made up of coffee and rice husks, nutshells, and sawdust.
We are able to dispose of the sawdust, which is a headache. And we are also using macadamia and cashew nut husks, which have a lot of calorific value. As such, we have been able to save as much as 30% of our energy bill.
Makamboki is the first factory out of the 66 KTD factories that has piloted the use of alternative sources of energy using briquettes. And we've seen a lot of interest from other factories and other boards because they would want to do the same.
Plans are in place to scale up the ITC project by equipping tea workers across East Africa with the skills needed to adapt to and mitigate climate change.
Our last stop is Brazil, where recycling brings treasure from trash.
These São Paulo-based waste pickers, or catadores, have an innovative way of doing business while protecting the environment. Step by step, this once informal industry is being formalized. Waste picking is now a legally recognized profession in Brazil, and catadores advise the government on environmental matters. These workers are part of the Co-op Amare cooperative, the first formalized group of its kind in Brazil. This co-op alone collects 100 tons of recyclables every month, equal to half of what the entire city program collects. They have an important role in recycling. They collect waste from open areas as well as from every newly constructed federal building. Then they separate the waste and sell it to businesses. By selling to mid to large-sized companies, catadores are connecting to value chains. In Brazil alone, recycling has an annual economic impact of about $3 billion. The Co-op Amare workers earn more than twice the national minimum wage and receive health benefits. This model is leading the way for other groups of its kind around the world.
This green trend towards building sustainable cities is helping to preserve a healthier planet for generations to come, even as workers at all levels of society earn a better living. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the International Trade Center's Trade Compass. I'm Susanna Pak. See you again soon.